Hey guys, Joe here, and here to tell you some tips for newcomers to the competitive scene. Now, some of these tips are to how to improve, some of them are just to have more fun, and some are to, of course, reduce the nerf that you are having in the game, or just to become a better player, or affect your scene a little bit more good. If you guys do enjoy this video, then tell me in the comments section below. But with all that said, let's get this started. Now, the first tip I'd say is that you have to realize that not everybody is out to get you, and in fact, pretty much nobody is out to get you when you are starting to play the game. Nobody's out to just hate you and out to just make you feel like a terrible person. That really doesn't happen, even though that might be going through your mind. People generally are very nice, especially in nerd culture, because you do have the same thing in common. So you can of course talk about the same thing, which is of course Smash Bros in this situation, and you have to realize people are generally nice. So if you just try to talk to them about what you both enjoy, they'll a lot of times talk back, and you'll have a lot funner time if you do realize that, instead of just being afraid of everybody thinking that they're going to be rude to you. Now, the next thing I say is to try to learn from the veterans in your local area. Try to learn from their tips and whatever they tell you, and do not think everything you learn from YouTube is really way too relevant when you are playing the game in person in a tournament. Also, I tell you to get a good controller if you are starting to go to a tournament. Most tournaments only allow GameCube controllers, sadly, but you could also see if your local scene does allow another controller like a Wii U Pro controller or just a Wii Pro controller. You could try to see what your local tournament has, but I recommend that you get a new controller that has, of course, those joysticks, because if you don't, then of course you'll be left in the dust quite a bit. The next thing I'd say is to try to find a mentor in your scene if you can. If you do know somebody that mains or secondaries your fighter and is much better at the fighter than you, then you could probably ask them for some help, for some things you could do, and for some ways you can improve your game. And if you do get help from them, you'll improve much faster than just trying to learn everything from yourself or learn everything from the internet, because that isn't as fast of a process. So the next thing that I feel could actually improve your game is to actually listen to music while you are playing within your games, so that you can stay in the zone and you don't get distracted by people around the venue. A lot of times people are very loud, people go like, oh, you know, people do a lot of stuff. People are very obnoxious at some points and can make some really weird sounds, and you can get a bit distracted. But if you do have some really nice music on and some music that's pretty loud, then you won't really be able to hear a lot of the stuff, and you'll pay a lot more attention to your game. You'll do a lot more good in your game than if you were just happening to listen to everything in the background. You won't get as distracted, and sometimes your opponent will get distracted while you aren't, and that'll give you a pretty big advantage. Now, the final thing I'm going to tell you seems really obvious, but a lot of people still do it, especially once you get a little bit more into the community, which is that you shouldn't be rude or trash talk other players in the community, even if you are better than them or if they beat you with ease. Pretty much at the end of a game, just say GG and move on. Don't try to create any enemies in the community like Smash Bros, or else the tournament experience for you could become a lot more negative and a ton less fun overall. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that this did help you. This was a lot of really weird random tips all kind of thrown together, but I hope that these different tips, one of them at least, hit home for you and could hopefully help you improve or help you have a little bit more fun at your game, or just be a little bit of an eye-opener. If any of that stuff did come to pass, then make sure to press the like button, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you all next time.